rest of white people, I decided to choose violence this morning. You see, I stitched a video yesterday where a man claimed that black people, making up 13% of the population, actually make up half of the problems in America. I pointed out a few things like serial killers, child rapists, and mass shootings, and never got a response, which isn't very surprising. But I also figured I would go ahead and throw this out there. Here are the number of arrests from the FBI's website based on demographic. White people, if you're talking about this and you're claiming that black people are the problem, you need to shut the fuck up. So on par with the rest of white people, I decided to choose violence this morning. You see, I stitched a video yesterday where a man claimed that black people, making up 13% of the population, actually make up half of the problems in America. I pointed out a few things like serial killers, child rapists, and mass shootings, and never got a response, which isn't very surprising. But I also figured I would go ahead and throw this out there. Here are the number of arrests from the FBI's website based on demographic. White people, if you're talking about this and you're claiming that black people are the problem, you need to shut the fuck up.
So whilst I'm working at home, working the job that I stole from white Brits in the home that I stole from white Brits, I thought I'd have a look at some of the statistics of crime by percentage in this country, seen as all of the comments and propaganda online is saying that, you know, ethnic communities, black and Asian communities, other communities who are non-white are responsible for majority of the crime in this country, and we are causing all of the issues. So I thought I'd have a look at the statistics and see what they actually say. 68% of principal suspects convicted of homicide were from the white ethnic group, followed by 14% from the black ethnic group and 15% from the other ethnic groups. 83% of the white victims in this country, 83% of the white victims in this country were murdered by other white people. I know there's been some commentary regarding ethnic communities sort of murdering white people in this country. However, it's, you know, proven here in black and white on the Gov website that 83% of the white homicide victims are killed by their own. I'd say that is white on white crime. Quite an interesting statistic here. The relationship between white homicide victims and associated principal suspect, the person who would have attacked and took their life, was most often a friend or acquaintance, whilst those involving black or other ethnic group victims was done by more often a stranger. White individuals accounted for 78% of arrests, 8% were of black individuals, 8% were of Asian individuals, 4% were of mixed ethnicity individuals, and 2% were of other ethnicities individual. And nope, I don't want to hear in the comments that, well, this is a majority white population. Remember what you guys have been saying, that we commit most of the crimes. But here on the Gov website, www.gov.uk, it clearly spells out a completely different story. Shall we continue? Let's look at arrests by ethnicity. In 2019 to 2020, 10% of the arrests were black, 8% were Asian, 77% were white. In 2020 to 2021, 77% again were white, 10% were black and 8% were Asian. In 2021 to 2022, 78%, it's gone up. 78% of the arrests were white, 9% were black. It's gone down. It's gone down.
They really did it. They have unleashed hundreds of alligators into the Rio Grande so they can catch immigrants trying to cross the river. It is not known who did it, but the fact is that there's now hundreds of alligators in the Rio Grande. And I didn't believe it at first, but I confirmed it by an article by Newsweek magazine. However you feel about immigration in this country, the lack of progress, the frustration that all Americans feel about lawmakers not making any progress on how to fix the problem. How do you feel about the fact that they're now putting alligators on the Rio Grande? Do you think that that would be inhumane for the alligators to be in that area so that they can eat immigrants trying to cross the border?
It's fucked.
The Texas government is putting a floating barrier between the US and Mexico to stop migrants. The Rio Grande River separates the two countries and is a main route for people entering America illegally. The full barrier will be 1,000 feet long and is 4 feet high, connected with weights and netting. Environmental researchers and immigration advocates worry the barriers could change the flow of the river and even lead to more people drowning as they try and cross it. Texas Governor Greg Abbott has said the state will use every tool to secure the border, and officials at the Texas Department of Public Safety said the barrier will actually prevent drownings and deter unlawful crossing and human smuggling. The project, which should be completed within 2 weeks, is already facing a lawsuit by a local kayak company for causing long-term, imminent, and irreparable harm to their business. The Texas government is putting a floating